Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video on my YouTube channel. Today I will show you my 4x4 Rubiks Cube Solver, which I designed in the past few weeks. Except for the Raspberry Pi, a small 3D printed plate, and the camera, everything consists out of original Lego pieces. But how does it work? For the mechanical design, it is heavily based on David Gilday's Mindcuber, which uses the same mechanism to flip and rotate the cube. But for larger cubes than the 3x3, we need some sort of way to also turn the middle layers. For this, I made a platform in the cube holder, which can be lowered to access the inner layers of the cube. Now you may ask why the camera is positioned that high up in the air. For this, I have to explain to you what the idea of this solver even is. This solver should not only be able to solve 4x4 cubes, but also larger ones. The design you see in the video can fit a Rubik's Cube up to 6x6, and in the future, it should also be able to solve cubes that size. This brings the issue that the cube has plenty of space to slide around in the cube holder, which eliminates the idea of giving the camera fixed coordinates to check the colors at. To solve this issue, I spent a good amount of time figuring out how the fuck OpenCV works to detect the position of the Rubik's Cube in an image. This was pretty hard because my cube doesn't have any black outlines which would give some sort of contour. So I took a deep dive into all the different functions OpenCV offers to make a more or less consistent way of finding the position of the cube. And finding the cube in an image is also easier when you can actually see the whole cube, which is actually the reason why the camera is so high up in the air. When positioning the cam lower, the cube was often not even fully in the image. And since it was the only webcam I could find, I took the cheap route of just lifting the cam to see the whole cube. After kind of finishing this and going to bed, the next morning nothing worked anymore. Every single color was being detected wrongly, and it was just a mess. Then I thought, why care about the specific colors of the cube like red, green, and blue when you can simply group the detected colors? So I asked ChatGPT on how I can do that, and to my surprise, it gave me an answer which actually worked. Now that the scanning of the cube was working, I moved on to actually generating a solution for the cube. For this, I used Dalton's N/N solver, which he also used in his Lego Cube Solver, so I just quickly modified my scanning process to scan the cube in an order the solver can understand. Then I basically thought I had everything I needed in order to do a first test solve. But little did I know that my scanning solution with the grouping of colors didn't work with my solver that well. Let me explain this problem a bit. So basically, when solving a Rubik's Cube with an even amount of layers, there is no middle piece. So our solver doesn't know which side is which and has to solve it without this knowledge. But this is where the issue comes in. My scanner only knows where the pieces of the self-detected groups are, and not which color the group has. So my cube representation isn't fixed to colors. But as we all know, a Rubik's Cube can't have side or corner pieces which have colors from the opposite side. Like for example, there is no corner with a yellow and a white color on it. Makes sense, right? So I asked my friend Julian, who has a bit more experience with cubing than me, to make me a script which kind of fixes this. Not even 30 minutes later, he sent me a function which worked without problems first try. Then the project was finally finished, and I could do a first test solve.
Girl, I thought that I told ya. Day or night, I'm gonna let you have it. I'm not looking for closure. No, I don't really wanna break this habit. Ooh. Let's start the conversation. I'll make you coffee in the morning, make it steamy, make it wet. My virtue isn't patience. Yeah, I know just how to play it, pop you in like a cassette. Let's trace that high like vertigo. You don't wanna be no candle.